Welcome to the Tudor Cottage Diaries time hop. This is January 2021 time hop, and as you can see, not much is growing in the garden. This is one of the borders that did back onto where the allotments were, so we've just come through that gate there, and that's where the vegetable patch was, that is now the rose garden. All of these plants have been relocated around the garden, so nothing has gone to waste. And if we turn around now, you'll see the pond that we never knew we had. So when we viewed the cottage back in 2020, just before lockdown started, the first lockdown, we thought that was a hummock of grass and weed. It did take us the best part of January 21, to dig that out. And so this is the pond newly dug out. As you can see, the liner was intact and all the electrics were working. Our fish had been in a paddling pool up to that point and are now in there. This border is the border that backs onto the stable block, and it's got things like camellias, and it's got eucalyptus, and it's got loads of spireas. This is where the daisies are, and the ground elder, which I've been digging out, and I'm having to dig that out ruthlessly on a daily basis. Stable doors in their original colour, they're now a beautiful sage green, which sort of makes them disappear more than the black. This heart was a friend from a present. The silver thing isn't an aeroplane, it's my beetle undercover, and you can just see the greenhouse there. There is a listed greenhouse, however, they did have planning permission to take it down and replace it, but my husband, being great at DIY, has repaired it, fixed all the rotten wood. Just one window, I think, left to repair, which is one of the top vents, and it's now fully vented, fully working, not rickety. The door doesn't shake and shudder as you open it, so it's a great place for growing tomatoes. This border was predominantly chamomile and feverfew, and I've started adding my annuals, perennials into this border, and you will see a massive difference in this. So for the first year, this year, it's sort of, you see the big difference. The first year there was nothing here, and then this year masses and masses of blooms and difference. Bird baths came with us from our previous house, and this is where we've got all the snowdrops in the bank, and this backs onto another field. You can just see the snowdrops there. I've not touched those. In fact, I've taken them in the green and started spreading them around the rest of the garden. And this border is now given over to hydrangeas, so they are in their first year, because it's very, very shady, and it just lacks inspiration. It's right outside our back door, and when you're in the bath you can see this border, and so it needed something that was going to be bright, cheerful and colourful. And so yeah, it's a hydrangea border now with 3 pre-existing roses. This is the greenhouse in January 2021. So it had the start of its renovation, and it had a fresh lick of paint at this stage, and then just a view across the back garden looking back towards the pond, and where we now have the rose garden, which is the allotment garden. Yeah, you can see no height, no volume, no colour. Yes, this is January, but it doesn't look this bad now. In January 2023 it had a lot more colour, and I'm just gonna pop to clips that I've just taken over the last week in June. So this is the greenhouse full of tomatoes and melons. And then a view through the herbaceous perennials and the annuals, the roses. There is some clematises in there, delphiniums, geums, lots of foxgloves, lots of the creeping geraniums. And this is the pond now. The bricks do look brand new, because they are, and we're just going to knock those back a bit and just make them look a bit older. And there's our brand new thatch. So that's the biggest change, is the thatch. That's covered in another video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to continue watching.